Oh, this is too good. I I gotta jump in on this. All right, Jack.
Emergency press conference.
Oh,
Ripple is undermining American prosperity and freedom.
undermining. Hmm. What does that mean? What do you mean undermining? It is an American company that produces a technology that solves a problem. What does Bitcoin do?
I can confirm Ripple is actively spending millions of dollars trying to undermine a strategic Bitcoin reserve
What does Bitcoin do?
in the United States of America. This is not just an attack on Bitcoin, but on principles of transparency, on fairness, and on our national security.
Roger Ver has entered the chat. If you haven't, please watch Roger Ver's interview with Tucker Carlson. Transparency. Ripple has been transparent throughout this entire time. Okay, they are just a company that was targeted by the government. Okay, was Bitcoin targeted by the government? No, not at all. They have Michael Saylor out there for that. You know, doing the whole MicroStrategy fandango, where he trades off the volatility of Bitcoin, taking out loans with all these other institutions for this outdated tech, this tech that all of the hash power is most of the hash power is located offshore with people we don't know anything about, and it's not private. It is too slow. It is too expensive to process these transactions to be even used as a money, which wasn't that the whole purpose. And what did Satoshi say about Ripple in the first place? That he supported what they were doing and the XRP token. And let's not forget that the small blocks won the argument for Bitcoin when the fork was created, when the big civil war happened. And it can't do the job. It can't do the job. It hasn't even taken in a local economy in El Salvador because no one wants to wait 3 hours for the fucking thing to settle.
A Bitcoin strategic reserve would be one of the most important economic announcements in American history. I personally would put it on par with Nixon in 1971.
Where he cut the gold supply under the Bretton Woods Agreement. How is us connecting our treasury? Remember, they want us to sell our gold for code. When all the other central banks around the world have been buying gold because the tokenization is coming in order for us to back real currencies or their CBDCs or RLUSD by Ripple to be backed by a tokenized gold. Something that links to the physical world. That people hold an intrinsic value. That's always been valuable. And you're saying that us linking it to an outdated tech and expensive tech is on par with Nixon cutting off the gold supply, cutting the gold standard officially? I suppose you are sort of correct. It will be a catastrophic decision, and it will lead to us literally giving away our gold for nothing.
However, it would be the first positive economic announcement that comes from the United States in the last 100 years.
No, it won't. Not at all. In fact, the most positive economic announcement could be that they just said they were going to do just digital assets. So I'm sorry you lost the fucking argument because your shitcoin, your bitcoin doesn't do anything. It doesn't fucking do anything. All you have left is it's a store of value. This is the last refuge of a scam. The very last refuge of it. And not for nothing, but throughout this entire time, all these, the only reason why Bitcoin's been going up is because it was used as a settlement mechanism for a lot of dark money transactions that are going on by the cartel, by everybody else. So yeah, everybody getting put on the same ledger from Ripple puts the bad guys out in the open too. All right, because they can't do it with the banks because the banks always get caught. So they've been settling all these transactions for the child sex slavery, for the drugs, for this, for that, over these dark money networks. So I'm sorry, fella, you lost the argument.
In 1933, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? We're confiscating your gold.
And you don't think that can happen with Bitcoin? Are you retarded? It's not private. They can track everything. Then how did they seize all those Bitcoins from all of these cartel busts and everything else? Because they can track it. Get it?
In 1971, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? We're divorcing ourselves from the gold standard. We're divorcing ourselves from being governed by the immutable laws of Mother Nature so that we can.
So we're going to divorce ourselves again from reality? That your tech is outdated? Is this a hostage video? What the fuck is going on here? He's reading off a script. He clearly doesn't memorize any of this. He can't speak on it ad nauseum and just put your beliefs out there. Look where his eyes are at.
Debase your money and inflate your life. In 2008, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? It was, we are bailing out and protecting private corporations, banks, and Wall Street at the expense of you, the public.
And what you need to understand is that Bitcoin came out subsequent after that. And what do we know about blockchain and the patents? They all came out in the 80s by the NSA. So who owns the mysterious bag of Bitcoin out there? It's the fucking intelligence agencies, dipshit. Like, this is not complicated at all. It's not complicated.
If the U.S. goes on to make an economic announcement that is the support of a Bitcoin strategic reserve, it will not act against its people in the best interest of the public.
How does it make money? It just sits there and we just all have to believe in it? It's not a yield generating asset. Therefore, it's not tactical to have it. And if it doesn't achieve our tactical advantage for contributing more money to our treasury, then it's not a strategic decision. And it shouldn't be a part of a strategic reserve at all.
It will do the opposite. This is a money that is owned, operated, and governed by the people.
It's not a fucking money. It hasn't been taken in the local economy. It hasn't been. What the fuck is this do? Even in El Salvador, where Bukele, started to hold it. And come to find out, Bukele only did that as a leverage tactic to get that loan from the IMF because they found, guess what? A huge gold reserve in fucking El Salvador. And the very day that Trump wrote that executive order, he talked to Bukele. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Governments and corporations own a fraction of this network. Who owns it? Who had first access? The people, the public.
So why do you guys like the ETFs for BlackRock? Oh, that's right. Because it's not BlackRock's money. It is people through their 401ks, which BlackRock owns, asking for allocation into your Ponzi scheme.
This is about being pro-industry, pro-jobs, pro-energy, pro-growth.
Pro-energy? Do you know how much power the Bitcoin network zaps? And we're going to be launching stuff with AI. Do you know how much power that zaps? There's only so much the grid can handle, fella. And as far as like power projection, these other countries aren't accepting it. Okay? It got left out of the MiCA regulations. They're not going to fucking use it over in Europe. And Fit 21, pretty much mimicking MiCA, which is going to be passed here real soon. So I'm sorry, at the end of the day, you have to say what it does. What does it do? How can I generate a yield from it? This is a business. It's not a cult.
Pro-technology.
Pro technology, really? Then why are the transaction times so long? Why? Is it costing so much to run this shit?
This is about solving our deficits.
How are you going to solve your deficit when it requires faith for it to be used instead of a use? XRP processes money. You can take a yield from it. From every transaction your little gumball machine fucking processes. Very simple. I can explain it in, 5 seconds. What does Bitcoin do? How am I generating a yield?
This is about leaning into the future and investing in prosperity for generations to come.
How? When it just is relying on faith. It's a meme coin. Bitcoin's a fucking meme coin. It doesn't do anything but facilitate dark money transactions from things that don't post fucking audits. Tether, and they got left out of the micro regulations. They're getting delisted everywhere. You guys are fucking grasping at straws.
Equality, inclusion, the leader of the free world, adopting technology that promotes American ideals.
Like a decentralized reserve, because it's not all about the United States. Okay, this is about getting rid of the Federal Reserve System, and for that, you need a unit of account, a method of payment, and a means of exchange. All three need to exist in order to end the Federal Reserve System, to have a geopolitical change, so we can get rid of the leverage, so we can stop these cycles of CIA coups all around the world, and the blackmail, and the child sex slavery, and the drugs, and the illicit materials, and the military interventions, and everything else to keep the scam going of, we're going to give you paper for, your minerals. Instead, they can settle in their own currencies, which is what BRICS is doing right now. They are abandoning the dollar at a clip never before seen. And, I'm sorry, abandoning the Federal Reserve note at a clip never before seen to settle in their own currencies. And there's only one way they can really do that, and that's with XRP, because you can settle in your own currency. That's how the technology was designed, and it was designed to work most efficiently at, $10, $20, $30, $40,000. This is how this and all in 3 to 5 seconds over a distributed ledger, so there's no leverage.
A money that we don't control, but that we support.
What do you mean you don't control it? Who has all the bags? And who has the mysterious Satoshi bag? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
It both aids to solve our country's biggest problems and promotes the world we want to see as Americans and its people.
What does it do? What does it do? If you can't answer that, you're not promoting, any sort of American ideals. This is a meritocracy.
Now, Ripple. Ripple is a for-profit company
that produces a technology.
It prints its own token in XRP.
It's all been pre-mined, and it's been doled out to the institutions who they've been working with hand in glove to solve this problem of cross-border payments. So they designed a technology that has a use where we can actually have a yield from it.
And it is asking the U.S. government to support its monopoly
on cross-border payments, so it's a decentralized reserve to get rid of the Federal Reserve System. This is a new financial system. I know this is hard for a Bitcoin maxi to grasp, but you need more than just it's a store of value for it to be integrated into the highest levels of international finance.
I ask you this: why should the U.S. government back a privately owned currency?
XRP is not a currency. It is a money processor. RLUSD is private from Ripple, but all we have to do is just say, hey, guess what? We're going to adopt RLUSD as a form of legal tender, because they're going to post their audits, okay? which means we know how much should be in circulation for it. What does the Federal Reserve do? They don't post any fucking audits at all, and it settles in 3 to 5 seconds. Fully backed, fully reserved.
This is corporate lobbying disguised as innovation.
It is innovation that is winning the argument.
This is corporate lobbying disguised as tech, growth, jobs, industry.
When you have a yield generating asset that's taking a toll off of every single transaction that uses this money processor, you're making money with it. How much more strategic can you be?
Ripple created all of its currency, issued it to them.
It's not a currency, it's a money processor. It is a technology.
Themselves and relies on the public to buy it.
It relies on institutions to use it, as well as sovereign nations to order to really move the price, because it all depends on how many transactions and their amounts, as well as their frequency, to move it, to get it to its most efficient operating price. That's why they've been meeting with all the stakeholders that actually have to run these institutions and deal with the fucking spreadsheets.
This
to figure out all the fucking problems in order to solve them.
is not the money for the people. This is not in the best interest.
It's not a money. It's a money processor. It helps facilitate transactions. This dude's an idiot. Like this, he's reading off a script. It's what the fuck is this dude's deal?
Interest of the public. This is in the best interest of a private corporation. This is an economic announcement that would be like 2008.
If the United States bought the escrow and then staked it and got rid of SWIFT, which frees the rest of the world from the chains of the Federal Reserve System and the dollar leverage system, that institutes a fair, level playing field, which gets all of these nations have their sovereignty back. Isn't that what we should want? A more peaceful world where we all interact fairly with each other?
It would be like 1971. That would be like...
No, it wouldn't. Not at all. Because we're talking about a money processor here. And RLUSD is going to be posting audits, because it's just one gumball in that machine, as long as whatever stablecoin or CBDC that wants to be launched inside of the machine. This dude doesn't understand what the technology is, and it's obvious.
1933. This is against what this new administration and President Trump stands for. This is against the best interest of the United States of America.
So what is in your interest of the United States of America? That we buy Bitcoin on the belief that it goes up? Or do we buy XRP because we can use it to generate a yield? These people, have they ever been in a fucking business? Like, this is a cult.
Absurd and ridiculous, and Ripple needs to stand down immediately. Not only are...
AKA, I'm losing money. This motherfucker is trying to get everybody in the fucking Ponzi scheme with his Bitcoin. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck?
They undermining future prosperity in the United States, benefiting from the technological innovation that is Bitcoin.
It's not... There's... dude, what does it do? What does it do? And is there something else that does it better? And the answer is XRP, because it has a use. It's decentralized. It has distributed ledgers. It's a decentralized reserve. It's a money processor. That's it, dude. It's a gumball machine. And all the stable coins out there and all the little assets, you know, they're going to be tokenized. Gold, you know, whatever else. It's just another gumball in the machine, fella. What aren't you getting here?
But they are also trying to take advantage of the situation and benefit themselves. Call your representatives and demand an investigation into Ripple's lobbying efforts.
Call your representatives and demand an investigation into MicroStrategy, because they trade off the volatility of Bitcoin, taking out loans, spreading risk to unsuspecting financial institutions. for outdated technology. What happens when it goes down? He can't do the payments. What, they're just going to take the loss? No, the dominoes are going to fall and it's going to be a fucking bomb. Alright, and it's going to go off and then everybody's going to get margin called. And he's going to be on a flight to fucking Epstein's Island while he's dumping his position. Because remember, these aren't securities. They're just commodities. It's totally different laws, man. These people are fucking crazy. They're so stupid.
Tweet publicly. Post your comments publicly. I've begun fighting back. I will not stand for this. I'm an American. I plan to have children and raise them in America.
Why aren't you going with an American company then? You want to go with this fucking thing that has all the most of the hash power located offshore, controlled by God knows who, whatever intelligence agency, and it's a dark money network. No one knows who's fucking transacting at all on it, cross border, and that's the point.
I will not let Ripple undermine our prosperity, freedom, and
he doesn't even believe what he's saying.
And benefiting from Bitcoin, a neutral, fair money for the people, for the public.
It's not. It's not. If it's not generating a yield, it's not a good business decision. Okay? We're trying to make money here. We're 37 trillion in, motherfucker. We're just gonna... Oh, I hope we're to buy it and hope it goes up. This is a meme coin. Bitcoin's a fucking meme. That's it. It's a fucking meme coin. There's no use.
Because this isn't just about Bitcoin versus Ripple. It's about whether the future of money belongs to the people or to private corporations.
We need to have audits to prove what's backing this instead of just faith. Okay? This is about business and transactions and how we settle. Who fucking pays attention to these fucking people? I don't get it. Like, there's no business acumen that's going on here. This is all just pleading. Quit pleading with me, you fuck. You want to get on your fucking knees?
It is up to us to decide.
I can't. This is fucking ridiculous. Who the hell are these goddamn people? Where do these cockroaches even come from? Oh, that was just too good, man. These fucking bastards.